All right, so we're going to continue on. We're going to get even deeper now. We're going to start talking about things that we should be doing to try and make sure that our solos sound like solos and they don't just sound like we're playing scales. Now, we've already discussed all kinds of different things, but we're going to keep going here, and then you and I are actually going to start jamming together a little bit as well. So the first thing I want you to think about is when you're playing is avoiding that guitar brain that always tells you you have to do this at a certain speed or you have to play these licks or whatever, because again, it all depends on what it is that you're jamming over. So I'm going to give you a couple different examples of some things. They're backing tracks or jam tracks that you're going to have. We're going to listen to those a little bit and jam over those a little. And so basically what's going to happen here is the first thing I want you to start thinking about is that your solos should have an ebb and flow to them. And always think like basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to write a novel, for instance, right? Maybe a short novel, but you're trying to figure out something that is exciting to the listener. So the first thing we need to do is listen to this and decide how much dynamics we need or how much comfort we're trying to set up versus energy. And it all depends on what we're soloing over. And this will also kind of dictate which of the scales that you're using that we talked about before, all that sort of thing. So what I want to talk about right now is the different facets of your fretboard, okay? If I'm down here, for instance, I'm going to be in B because this first jam that we're going to be doing is going to be in B minor. So I'm going to be in B minor. So if I start off down here doing something where I'm going... Now what I want you to be thinking about is I've got my volume. Now again, this is my capacity. That's what I've got for maximum capacity, which we talked about earlier. I'm going to back that off. So I'm just kind of whispering, okay? Just kind of playing down here in B minor pentatonic, okay? Or whatever. Whatever you'd like to do. So that's down there. So that's kind of whispering. Now, as I start moving into maybe this first position of B minor, okay, there's an element of whisper and there's an element of talking now. And remember, there's always overlap, right? If I do this, they both exist, but it's just kind of a thought in your mind. So as I play, I'm thinking about the fact that I can play really quiet, maybe talk a little bit. Okay, and then as I move up even more, I start getting into my singing zone. Now again, this is just a hypothetical, but you get the idea. So if I move up in here, now I'm really singing. So this is where, I'm probably going to be kind of, maybe not full on, but certainly close to it in terms of the capacity of the distortion of the amp, that sort of thing. Because I'm really I've got something to say now. I'm not whispering or just talking. I really have something I want to say. So, and as I get to that second string and in mostly the first string, then I start really singing loudly or screaming. If I come up here, I'm really, really aggressive. There's a lot of energy happening there. So I always kind of think of the guitar as having sort of 4 different capabilities of vocal inflection. I've got whispering, talking, singing, and then singing very loudly or screaming. And that's kind of where I'm at. So if we listen to this very first track here, if I play you just a little bit of this. Quiet, okay? It's being quite quiet there. I just want to make sure everything's recording and everything's good. It's quiet. So I don't want to come out of the gate just screaming at this thing. I need to think about making a connection,